Welcome back. So today is very important. This is the day we want you to start a food elimination diet. Now, I don't want you to freak out because there are all sorts of great things you can feed yourself and your children, but it's just critical. So many of the scientific studies that I've read is that says many people who have ADD-like symptoms have sensitivities to food. And you could go do expensive allergy testing, or for 3 weeks you could go on an elimination diet. I actually think everybody should do it for 3 weeks, and everybody for sure who has ADD or ADHD should do it for at least 3 weeks. And the reason for 3 weeks is if you all have been sensitive to food, it just gives your body that time to sort of settle down the inflammation and the allergic reaction. And don't you think some of our best testimonials come from this?
Within the first 2 weeks, people start sleeping better, their migraines go away, their joint pain gets better, blood sugar drops. It's pretty crazy.
Their skin
Their
gets
focus
prettier.
gets better, brain fog goes away, anxiety decreases, and it's all because of that inflammation from foods that have been triggering them.
And sometimes temper problems, and this is not new. My friend Doris Rapp, who is considered the mother of environmental medicine in the United States, wrote a book many, many years ago about this and demonstrated food is medicine or food is poison. So walk people through how to get started, because I know some mothers are like, but my child will only eat yellow things.
You're gonna hear me say this a lot. I am all about replacing, not erasing. So when you hear me first talk about the foods that I want you to eliminate, okay, don't focus too much on that, because everything that we have you eliminate, we're going to give you so many alternative foods that taste delicious and recipes. But we want you to focus for the first 3 weeks on eliminating things like gluten, soy, dairy, sugar, corn, most grains, but especially things like rice and oats, millet. So most grains, though, we want you to really focus on yeast. And something called nightshades for a lot of people can cause problems. Not everyone, but a lot of people. So for the first 3 weeks, we want you to take them out. Those include things like tomatoes, peppers, potatoes, and eggplant. And then all artificial flavorings, but especially artificial sweeteners. So
and
food colorings.
Food dyes.
Right, food dyes.
And preservatives.
Absolutely. So
what can they eat?
So many amazing things. So, and there's grainless breads. I have recipes for grainless breads that are actually so much faster to make. They're very simple to make because you throw everything into a blender. It takes like, the preparation is like 10 minutes, and then you just put it in the oven for, a short time. There's pancakes that I have recipes for. You can replace some things. You can have a little bit of quinoa. You can have, there's so many amazing replacements. Coconut wraps. There's tremendous.
So just getting everybody clear. So for 3 weeks, no gluten, and gluten's found in wheat, rye, barley, oats, no oatmeal?
Yeah, well, there are some gluten-free oats, but we still want you to take oats out of your diet.
Just for the 3 weeks.
Yes.
Kamut and spelt. So no gluten, no dairy, no milk, cheese, ice cream, butter, or yogurt, no corn, soy, sugar, grains, yeast, so brewer's yeast, fermented foods, nightshades, and anything synthetic. So it's very important to read the labels. And even some cosmetics have things like gluten in them. Isn't that sort of crazy?
For people who are truly sensitive, there are some gluten-free cosmetics.
All right. But there's a whole bunch of things that you can have. So let's just talk about breakfast. What can people have for breakfast?
Yes, can I show some things? So a couple of my daughter's favorite things, and I came up with this recipe for her because she loves pancakes. So these are
But these are not buttermilk.
No, these do not have regular batter, and they're so much faster and so much easier because, contrary to popular belief, I don't like to spend a lot of time in the kitchen. So I came up with this recipe. Literally,
yes, in fact, when we met, you couldn't cook. In fact,
don't tell people
I
that.
often say you went from disaster to being a master.
And it was because of my own
this
health.
isn't hard.
Right.
This isn't hard.
No, and it was because of my health. So literally, you throw a few eggs, so high protein, into the blender, along with a banana, so one banana, so it's split up, between two people, and then a little bit of coconut oil, some almond butter, and just a couple little things for flavoring. And then it's awesome. You blend it, and then you make little tiny pancakes. And then how delicious is this? You throw some strawberries into a high-powered blender, and you've got strawberry sauce
Oh my goodness.
for the dressing, instead of syrup.
Right. Now, some simple things. They can also do eggs.
Right.
They can
Omelets.
do omelets.
Right.
They can do, eggs and chicken and broccoli or blueberries.
Another
There's
alternative.
Quinoa, which, quinoa really doesn't have much taste, but when you put cinnamon
yes, it can.
on it and maybe a little bit of erythritol along with berries and nuts,
Oh, let me
it
just-
just tastes like dessert.
Well, this is one of my daughter's favorites when I eliminated oatmeal. So I make her quinoa sometimes, but I make it with almond milk. So it's creamier. And then I throw either berries and nuts in it. And then, like you said, a little bit of erythritol. Or I'll do bananas and almond butter so that it's like a, banana, like a creamier type of consistency. You can throw, and then what I do, a little trick, is I throw some extra protein powder in it. So.
And in addition, you have a brand new book that we're so excited about called Healing ADD Through Food.
Right.
And so you really walk people on how to do an elimination diet in a very practical way.
And there's about 20 recipes for breakfast.
And what about snacks?
Oh, so many snacks. Again, there's about 12 recipes for snacks in the book. But some of the snacks that I have in here, this is an extension of my body. Okay, I don't go anywhere without my bag. People laugh at me because I take it everywhere. So you want to get
Never
used to.
be caught without food.
Never.
That's when people get into trouble.
And here's a little trick. I spend a few hours a week preparing for the whole week. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. There's no question about it. But that sets you up for the whole week, and it's such a huge time saver. So boil a dozen eggs, grill 6 chicken breasts, chop up your vegetables, clean your fruit, measure out your nuts in snack bags for the whole week. These are the things I do. So I will take a hard-boiled egg with me, some veggies and hummus,
Or avocados.
like guacamole, salsa, some nuts. Then what I'll do, I'll take a little bit of almond butter, one of my favorites, a coconut wrap, and inside of it, I'll either put wild salmon or I will put a little bit of almond butter and like a third of a banana sliced up.
Oh, I'm hungry.
And then one of my favorites,
We make Brain on Joy that is sugar-free, milk-free,
and it's got
wheat-free.
coconut.
And it tastes great.
Tastes like a candy bar. It's amazing. Kids love these.
Also,
So
Brain in Love.
there is no suffering required. And I could come up with like I said, there's a ton of snack ideas in the book.
Great. Well, tomorrow, so we want you to get started today, which means you have to start reading the labels and read the journal that comes along with this program. Also, Tana's new book, Healing ADD Through Food. There's shopping lists in it as well. Also, Tana has a blog that you can go to tanaamen.com. People download the recipes more than they do anything else. We are here to support you. We're going to talk about this more tomorrow. You have something
I have to say,
extra
yes.
to say? Seriously?
Yes, because there's also 12 desserts in the book that are so healthy and delicious. They can be you can eat them for
We're gonna
breakfast
talk about
or
them
snacks.
tomorrow.
I know, but I had to throw that in.
Okay. See you tomorrow.